What is up, guys? Orbital-Pilot back here once again in the world of Warthunder. This time, taking to the sky in the Venom. Now, the Venom is basically the successor to the Vampire, and it's actually flyable, unlike the Vampire. Don't get me wrong, the Vampire isn't terrible, but it's really hard to put it into a match and actually do quite well. However, with the Venom, even when it's stocked like this, it can still perform quite well. Now, this is a 9.0 match course because that's it's BR 9.0. And so you're going to face Big 17s, you're going to face the Bisses, the CL13s, you're going to face all top tier jets. And here's the thing, is you are not a top tier jet. You are not the best of the best. You're not a Hunter, you're not an F2, you're not a Big 17, and you're not a CL13 for sure either. But you are better than stuff like the F2H2, the F9Fs. Well, I mean, maybe not the last one, but you're right up there. And so you really kind of have to play this as like a support fighter that's actually able to take on a little bit more than something like an F80 would, or a C Meteor or something like that. Because although you're not the worst plane, you're also not the best plane. So it's kind of a nice medium. Now, MiG-17, I would not recommend pulling a head-on. Luckily enough, he does bounce a shell. And these are stock 20mm, so keep in mind, not what I would expect out of something like an ammo belt, like stealth or something like that. So keep in mind, the gun is going to be a little bit of a hindrance. Speaking about guns though, it does have Hispanos in the nose, so if you're a fan of Mark V, you're gonna love this. If you're not, you're really not. Now the problem is with these guns is that when you're fighting people and props and you're shooting Hispanos, you're going a max of probably 300-400 miles an hour. When you're doing jet combat, however, you have a Big 17 coming in at 700 miles an hour and you're coming in at 600 miles an hour. Your window to shoot is very, very small, and so the lead is insane on these guns. If you're doing any type of high-speed jet combat, keep in mind to really extend your lead quite a bit. Now, ME-163 ducks his head underneath. I'm going to try to go for him, however, like I said last video, or was it, I don't know, it was a video a couple weeks ago, I think. I said one of my biggest problems in this game is that I zoom in way too much, and that is one of the perfect examples. I don't know why I do it, it's just a habit. Now, although the ME-163 is a rocket plane, there is no way he's going to have enough speed to climb to this altitude with me, so simply roll it over and go back for him. Now, at this point of the battle, the enemy and my team were fairly well balanced in terms of number of planes. They are bombing out our base. Luckily enough, I think they were one bomb short, so thank God for that, because God do I hate bombers so much. CL-13 comes in, MiG-15, MiG-15 comes in too. You're not going to have enough speed to compete with something like a MiG-15 bis unless it's a very, very flat race. However, I just had to pull a full 180. There's no way I'm ever catching up to him. CL-13 ducks beneath. Like I said, with these types of cannons, I'm not going to be able to make that shot. Now, ME-163, instead of extending below me, he starts to pull towards me, and for some weird reason, he doesn't turn nearly soon enough. So he tries to commit to a head-on and then pulls slightly up. I have no idea why. He should have pulled down. That would have made me pull negative Gs, which are much, much harder than positive Gs for sure. And he might have actually lived. So Gold Dust 33 is coming back, or 333. The CLs are an amazing plane, but against a bunch of MiG-17s and Fs, F-Series Sabres, there's just not a lot they could do. Try to put some shells into them, but like I said, you have to lead a lot. And that's fairly evident here with the tracer belts. As we can see, those shells were just not getting close to him at all. And I'm barely going 450 miles an hour, but he's probably going somewhere between 6 and 7. So keep in mind, when you're flying this plane, the guns are mounted not only below, but they are fairly slow. So pulling vertical, a couple MiG-17s left to Canberra. There's also a... oh, what is it? There's a F2H2 left. He's going to die fairly shortly, though, and then you're going to have a TU-4. Now, I kind of wanted to showcase this because it really shows that you should always go... Actually, maybe it doesn't showcase that. However, what it does showcase is that Don't ever count people out of the game just because they're on the runway. This does need to be fixed because right now it is a little bit broken. If someone's repairing, it should have at least a logo or a symbol by their name to show that the game's not over, because they had a dude respawn from he was sitting on the base for like 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes, and he respawns and just delays the game even more. So yeah, that's really annoying. I hope they can do something about that. I don't have any specific ideas, so I can't like give tips. So I'm not going to complain about it too much. But back into the gameplay, MiG-17 pops up. Those aircraft carriers are just dangerous. Now, I wasn't sure if that aircraft carrier was bombed or if someone crashed on it. I'm hoping it was bombed. Otherwise, kind of bad. But MiG-17 pulls in. As we can see, the Tu-4, he's going to go in for a landing. This MiG-17 was slightly annoying. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand what he's doing. He's fighting, well, by his anti-air. The logical thing to do. Now, had these been actual air target belts, there's a very strong possibility that guy would have been toast. However, my rounds just are not doing enough damage to take him down. So, very slowly turn the plane around. I don't want to waste any speed. 615 miles an hour. You're quite lucky to get in this plane. Like I said, they're fully stocked, so keep that in mind. And 7 miles an hour, 8 miles an hour lost in a turn is not that bad. So we have a Tu-4 and a MiG-17 left up. They are the only ones left, so it shouldn't be too difficult. However, that stupid AAA is just ridiculous. Even for Korea level, it is just absolutely insane. MiG-17 pulls around. I'm going to try to force a head-on. However, he does not want to commit. That's probably a wise decision. Pulls right back around. Now, this is kind of where he makes his mistake. He's going way too slow. And had I been going just 100 miles an hour slower, he would have been a dead man for sure. But the Venom is not prone, but can quite easily break its wings if you pull too hard above 500, 600 miles an hour. So keep that in mind. And although, like I said with the MB-163, although he's a MiG-17 and he has a far more powerful engine, there is just no way he can keep up with this level of boom and zoom. So now, for a while, the AAA wasn't focused on me, however, now it is. So what I'm going to do is simply fly underneath the island or underneath the base of it. That way, there's no way that AAA can get me. Although, yeah, somehow it finds a way. I don't quite understand, but okay, whatever. There's a forest blocking your eyesight, but it doesn't matter because it's laser guided or something. So, with that second hit, sadly enough, I do have a fuel and an oil leak, so I'm losing oil pressure, well, not fuel pressure, but I am losing fuel at a moderate rate. There's no way this battle is going to go on for another 10, 12 minutes, so not really too concerned. And I'm not sure where the oil is leaking from, however, it's reporting no damage yet. It will, but not yet. So I have a decision. I can either go back to base, repair, rearm, and come back. With 95 cannon shots, that may be the best idea. But you guys know my motto. As long as I have an engine, I'm probably going to stay in the fight. So, that's what I tend to do most of the time, because when there's only one dude left, yeah, it's just not worth flying back to base in my opinion. So look down. I know the Tu-4 is there. Now I think the Tu-4 is out of the game. I was sorely mistaken, however. And right there, all of a sudden he pops back up on my radar, and I'm like, oh god, we have another Tu-4 to deal with. Now if they get one more bomb off on the base, we are toast. So keep that in mind, that if that Tu-4 somehow makes it back to base, or back to our base, there is just nothing we can do. I have 95 shots left. There's no way I'm taking down a Tu-4. The MiG-17 maybe, but not both of them. So F-86F is flying, MiG-17 both up. I think the MiG-17 is rearming, so he's not going to be in the battle for quite a long time. Tu-4 does do a run over the base. Somehow I put a decent amount of shots into him, and somehow I'm not shot down. Don't quite understand that, but I will take my luck. However, now I have like I said, an oil leak. Oil is overheating, engine is damaged. Yeah, there's nothing I can do. I'm going to have to go back to base, rearm. Especially with 0 cannon rounds. I could try. Now, don't get me wrong. If the Tu-4 was the last dude, If the T4 was the last remaining player, I would just simply run into him. But with the MiG-17 up, I'm not going to risk it. Now, I think the MiG-17 was trying to chase me. I think he also may be low on ammo, so maybe that's why he didn't follow me. But at this speed, he would have caught me right as I was hitting the runway. Probably not the wisest decision for him to do. And the runways are something that's fairly controversial in this game, because the accuracy of those guns are just ridiculous, especially in early tier gameplay. They're like radar laser guided nuclear missiles, but go the speed of bullets with the frequency of bullets. So they need to do something about it, in my opinion. I just don't know what, so I'm not going to complain about it too much. Now, this is this is actually a really fast landing. I'm about 1.5 miles from the runway, 2 miles max. Simply put out the air brakes, drop the throttle down to 0%, and well, this plane actually flies quite nicely damaged. Now, luckily enough, my whole plane is damaged. I know that may sound weird, but that at least means I'm flying fairly normal. Obviously not as well, but at least there's no significant drag to one side of the plane. Also, the air brakes work shockingly well, especially in just a straight like this. Don't get me wrong, it's not the F2 Sabre, but fairly well. So guys, for the stock Venom, it's far better than the Vampire. I'm just going to throw that out there. But if you can get good at the Vampire and then move on to the Venom, I think you're going to find this plane a lot of fun. Because basically, it's just a mega souped up version of the Vampire. And, especially at 9.0, it's not that bad. So guys, if you liked the video, hit that like and subscribe button, and thank you for watching. Now, you may want to know what happens at the end of this battle. Basically, in here in about 15 seconds, I don't know if they crash, I don't know what happens, but they do lose their whole team. So, luckily enough, I did not have to take back off, and my landing is just mega pro. Drift a plane in, and yeah, that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button like I said, and I'll see you guys next time.